There we are. Hey, look, it started this
Hey.
time. We had some technical difficulties right before starting this, and I was saying that errors occurred while recording.
Yeah.
Cool necklace, Flip. You were just
thank
telling me
you.
off the air about this necklace. Do you mind sharing the story? This is
This is a little kitty cat necklace that Addie got.
It's only
and
half of a cat.
It's only half of, well, it's one cat,
that's
but it's half
terrifying.
of a set.
Oh, okay.
And so I have the purple one and she has the pink one, and they're magnetic. So she'll come up to me and be like, besties. And then you just kind of like hold them together and they like clamp down to
that's
each other.
cute. So she got
Super
that for
cute.
you as a gift?
She did. Yep. So
That's really
now I have
cute.
to wear it. And the bracelet that she made me too. So
I think it's really funny because you hate cats.
I do.
And so did she choose that just thinking
Out of spite, maybe?
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
so.
know.
She's like, Mom won't turn this down because she loves me.
I know.
And now
I'm
she has to wear a
my
cat
God, I gotta
around.
put
Now
this
everybody's
damn
going to
thing
think you're a
on.
cat person too.
Now everybody's going to think it. I
Yeah,
know.
they're all gonna think
I've
you're a cat
voiced
person.
my disdain more than once.
Flip is not
still
a
here.
cat person, just for the record. Let's start the show. Let's do this here. You know, I've got one of those little friendship necklaces too, actually, that Luna gave me.
Yeah?
Mine is bluey. I don't know if you can see.
That's cooler.
Yeah,
I want bluey.
It's bluey, and she's got bingo. And
Aw,
so,
that's so
yeah,
cute.
so we're
Wait, what did Brittany get?
nothing.
Brittany doesn't get
She
a
doesn't
necklace?
no, she didn't get one. There were only two. And I was closest to Luna at the time. I don't think it means anything other than the
Yeah.
fact that I was in the closest proximity to her at the time and willing to put on the necklace. So
I'd rather have Muffin anyway. Muffin's my spirit animal on that show.
really,
Yeah.
how come?
Yeah. Just her attitude
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the way she handles life.
herself. Yeah, handles life.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is pretty good. I do like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show. I think we're on episode 16 of Flippin' Street or Make It Weird.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds close enough. We appreciate all of our new followers and listeners, wherever you might be from. Give us a shout in the comments. Let us know where you're listening from. Thanks for the follows at Flippin' Street or Make It Weird on Instagram. We're up to nearly, I think, 1,000 followers on Instagram.
That's
Look at
crazy.
that. That's exciting for us. I know other
Look at us.
podcasters are
Look
like
at
you
us.
peasants,
Right.
but
I
like
get that
4
in an
weeks ago,
hour.
I think we were at 100.
3. Yeah, that too.
300?
No, 3. Like 3 people.
Oh, 3. We were a little bit
For a
better.
little bit.
We were a little bit
For a
better
little
than
bit.
that. So thank you for everybody that shares and
Yeah.
likes and comments and makes it go around. Lots to talk about this morning. One of the things I do want to talk about today is daylight savings time.
Yeah.
I know that's
Our
weird.
disdain for that and cats.
So I saw that lawmakers are again trying to end daylight savings time. You know, they tried to pass a bill in 2022.
They
to end
did.
it. And, you know, because most of the United States wants it gone.
Right. We've already suffered enough.
Yes.
Just let us keep our hour of daylight.
Well, so that's why it didn't pass. It stalled in 2022 because we couldn't agree on which time to make permanent.
No.
Do
You don't say.
I
You
know.
want an extra hour of daylight is what you want in the evening. You don't want it getting...
Is that what you wanted?
I
Because other
think
people
that
didn't
would
want
be-
that.
Really?
And that's why the argument thing. So we'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later
I
in
don't
the
like
show.
it getting dark at 4 o'clock in the, it's
I
like
don't either.
4:30 and the sun's already going down.
I agree. But think about this then, though. If you do that, if you make that permanent during the other times of the year, some people aren't going to see like sunrise until, I think, what did they say, like almost 10 a.m.?
That's on them. Why is that my problem?
I don't know.
That's-
That's good. Hey.
Then move. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Well, you could move too. You could move somewhere where it gets light, stays light longer. And
Good. I don't want to, though. It's too much trouble.
we'll talk about that a little bit later, a little bit more in the show. Are you ready to share some of the That's So Florida stories today? What do you got this morning?
Yes.
And That's So Florida. You got some interesting ones.
I mean, this one is kind of ridiculous. This teenager in Nebraska apparently thought a Chevy Corvette and a heavy right foot could outsmart the law
Oh.
And he led police on a 168 mile per hour chase, before discovering that, unfortunately, stop sticks are actually a real thing.
Yeah.
The 16-year-old
I learned about
was
that Need for Speed.
was spotted tearing through Kearney, Nebraska at a casual 130 miles an hour.
In
because,
fairness, if there's anywhere to speed, it's probably Nebraska.
It's probably Nebraska in the middle of nowhere.
There's no one else around.
He could have been on to
Kearney,
something.
Nebraska, it sounds like there's a lot of people there.
So, yeah. But apparently he thought, speed limits, just suggestions, kind of like ETAs. But when a trooper attempted a traffic stop, he did what any rational person would do. He hit the gas and turned a routine traffic stop into a full-blown police chase. So for 20 miles, it was pushing speeds approaching 170 miles an hour.
You never get away, kid.
Yeah. And the joyride ended where the authorities laid out the stop sticks, forcing it to slow down. And so then he made a genius last-ditch move, parking in the dark and hoping the police just forgot about him.
Oh, see, that I learned in Need for Speed, too.
I mean, shockingly.
This kid thought that this was he was playing Need for Speed.
Right. Yeah.
See, this is the whole video game thing.
Shockingly, that strategy failed.
Yeah.
Officers, perhaps using their eyes, maybe quickly located the parked vehicle, took him into custody. Now he's facing a series of charges.
I've thought about trying that before, the whole... the cops are chasing you, but you get them just out of sight, and you pull over and you park, and then you just pretend that you're like a different car and a different person. Oh, hey, oh, that's weird. I saw that car that looked just like mine fly by also.
Yeah.
But it wasn't me. I've just been sitting here parked. I've just been playing on Facebook in the car, waiting for something.
I know someone who potentially eluded police.
What?
Years ago, over 10 years ago.
I like how you're potentially eluded. You don't know how much you can say without, you're like, what's the statute of limitations on this?
Right.
So, okay. All right. So let's just make
on the interstate and then pulls off at a gas station after the cop had pulled, he was on the side of the interstate clocking people and got out and going 85 or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
And so pulled off at the gas station, and he went by and he got somebody else that once they got back on the interstate, they
really?
went a little bit further.
Well, maybe they weren't
after. He got somebody else.
This person.
I don't know.
This person that you may or may not know.
Weird.
That may or may not have eluded police. Maybe they weren't after that person to begin with. Maybe this person is just really paranoid.
Probably. Guilty conscience
because they do a bunch of wrong shit all the time.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
Yeah. Probably speeding a lot. That's interesting, though. Actually, I mean, that's different than actually a chase, though, right? I mean, but that is a loot. I mean, they kind of evaded.
Could be.
Yeah.
Not me.
No, I'm not saying it was you. Did I say it was you?
That's not me.
I think I said it was you.
It wasn't me.
It was you, wasn't it? 100%. No, of course not. All right. You would never do that anymore. Hey, speaking of good moms like you.
Thank you.
Let's talk about this mom this mom actually from Texas. Wonderful mom, I'm sure. She has 12-year-old daughter, 9-year-old son.
I got a 12-year-old now.
Yeah. And almost 9-year-old, right? Don't you have, how old is Addie?
No, she's 6.
That's almost 9. Turn her upside down.
Enough.
She's 9. So this woman's from Texas. She has a 12-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son. She told them, hey, I'm going to step out. I'm going to real quick run up the street, drop off a package to a friend.
Okay.
Be right back.
All right.
After 10 hours, after 10 hours away, the 12-year-old calls 911, worried about her mom.
She hadn't come back. So, of course, police responded, and, everybody was concerned. What happened?
About mom. Where'd she go?
Oh, no.
Police did respond and did track down her mom.
Is she okay?
She was okay. She was not dropping off a package.
Oh, no.
She was drunk at a bar.
Oh, no.
Drunk at a bar, just partying along with some friends.
Yeah.
Arrested on child abandonment and endangerment charges. Not winning Mom of the Year. What do you just?
These people, like,
you just wish they would just take their kids with them to the bar.
I
just don't understand it.
Just Sweet Home Alabama, that crap. Like, you've got a baby in a bar.
That's right. Go to a restaurant and bar. And you can
hell, you could go to Applebee's. They'd be fine there.
I know.
My God,
what is wrong
don't
with
go
people?
to an actual bar.
Yeah, take them and just give them an appetizer.
Still drink somewhere else.
Yeah, you can go get
them some mozzarella sticks, and you get a margarita. It's fine.
That was what you were going to say, but what were you going to say?
No, these people, like, it just. How some people manage to have children.
Oh, I know. Well, there's no test.
Blows my. There should be.
They let them. I know, but they just let them do it.
You got to have a test to get a driver's permit. You got to have a test for most everything else in the world, except probably the most important thing of being a parent.
It's like that guy. We were talking about this guy on the radio show this week, who has been paying all these thousands of dollars to have surgeries to make himself look like a lizard.
The lizard guy.
Yeah. And I think he's like on social media. I think he's a big social media. I mean, obviously, people, he's doing it for attention. I mean, I don't know why else you would make yourself look like a lizard. But he just underwent like this really invasive skull surgery where he altered the look of his skull to include those little triangle pits like that lizard and
like
reptiles have. Yeah. Those little pits. So he has those now in the side of his skull. He already had surgery to have a split tongue. Mm-hmm. And he has tattooed eyeballs to make his eyeballs look like lizard or, reptile eyes. Mm-mm. By the way, how much fun do you think it would be to have an eyeball tattooed?
Probably not a lot.
No.
I don't have any tattoos.
Does that affect your vision? Can he see?
I don't know.
I'm very curious about that.
Does it go right over the...
yeah. And don't they make contacts these days that could alter the look of your eyes? And so why would you need a tattoo?
Yeah,
I just don't think there's no. You spend all your life trying to avoid things like needles coming in contact with your eyes, right? Isn't that like the whole? And then you're inviting a needle to your eye.
Willingly get a.
And I would never be the tattoo artist that did that. Like, someone came in and was like, where do you want your tattoo? Right here, bro.
Right here, right here
on your eyelid. Nope. Not on the eyelid. Eyeball. That's where I want it. Eyeball, please. I don't think that's a selection. I haven't been into a whole lot of tattoo parlors, but I don't think that's a selection on that. Like, usually you can go in and be like, I want this tattoo and I want it here. Right. I don't think you can choose eyeball in most places.
Those are usually like the back alley ones that are.
Yeah. Is that where you get the eyeball tattoos?
I would assume.
The ones that you can't find in the yellow pages?
I'm not sure if that's legal that you could just. Walk in anywhere.
That's a great question. Let's do a search on this. I was having a conversation with a friend who is he says his biggest pet peeve during podcasts is when when they bring up something like this and then they just don't answer it.
Don't answer the question.
They're like, he's like, you have Google in front of you. He's like, everybody has it. Why don't you just finish it out and find the answer to your question so we can answer it in the podcast and he doesn't have to Google it later on down the road. So let's see.
Feels like it's kind of aimed at us. Have we done that?
No, we haven't. It wasn't aimed at us. He didn't even know we had a podcast. In fairness, he didn't even know. He's a good friend, by the way.
Great.
Thanks so much, David. He does now. We ended up talking about it. Is it legal to? Okay, I just tapped in. Is it legal to tattoo? And here's the top Google. When Google's like, here's the suggestions.
Yeah, like auto populates.
Is it legal to tattoo yourself? Is it legal to tattoo a dog?
Is it legal to tattoo yourself?
Is it legal to tattoo a baby? Is it legal to tattoo a pregnant woman? Is it legal to tattoo out of your house? Like run a tattoo parlor out of your house? Those are the top. Those are the top searches. Your eyeballs. Rather than being injected into the tissue, the dye is injected between two layers of the eye, then gradually spreads. The process remains uncommon due to professionals' discomfort performing the procedure. It is illegal in the American states of Oklahoma and Indiana and in the Canadian provinces of Ontario and Saskatchewan.
Wow. So everywhere else, it's good to go.
That's crazy.
As long as you can find somebody willing to do it.
Due to the risks,
my gosh.
eyeball tattooing this is in Australia. It's illegal in Australia. Ugh. Wow.
Ugh.
They use a needle. They still use the needle to do it.
Yeah.
It's permanent and that is non-reversible.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the most common risks. Perforation of the eye, which can lead to blindness.
You could lose your eyesight.
Retinal detachment, which can lead to blindness.
Mm-hmm.
Endophthalmosis, infection of the eye, which can lead to blindness.
Yep.
Sympathetic ophthalmia, which can lead to blindness. Transmission of bloodborne viruses.
So blindness
from
is
unsterile
basically
equipment, which can lead to blindness. Bleeding infection at the injection sites, which can lead to blindness.
Okay.
Sensitivity to light, which can lead to blindness.
We've fulfilled
Adverse
our promise
reactions
to David.
the lake, which can lead to blindness.
Done.
We're out of time for the show, but one more. Staining of the surrounding tissue due to ink migration, which can lead to blindness. All right. We've fulfilled our obligation.
Yeah.
David,
That's
there you
right.
go.
We're done.
Oh
God. Kind of wish we wouldn't have.
Sorry. Yeah. I was really curious about that. That is interesting. How does that tie to? Anyway, that kind of leads us right into what because that really, I think that, what? Somebody has how much money would it take you to have your eyeball tattooed?
Is
there any amount of money?
I don't think there's any amount of money because my friend Tara has been trying to talk me into getting like matching tattoos, like best friend tattoos. And I'm terrified. Yeah. But I'm like, she keeps sending me these things like, oh, we can get these and these. And I'm like, okay, the smaller, the better. I like that. Less painful, things like that. But I have a problem just thinking about doing it on my skin, much less on my eyeball.
Yeah. I couldn't do it. I don't have any tattoos either. I can't. I got a thing with needles. I just don't want to. I don't like needles. But I don't think I could, especially not on the eyeball. And by the way, no amount of money for me to do it because the risks are too high.
Same.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. All right, moving right along. Now that we've talked for 15 minutes about eyeballs. Tattooing eyeballs.
Eyeball tattoos.
Let's talk about this badass woman from Indonesia.
Okay.
This woman does win Grandma of the Year.
Oh.
59-year-old woman in Indonesia. She was searching for snails when a crocodile latched onto her hand.
Okay.
And dragged her into the river.
I was about to start doing like the death roll and everything.
They did. People watching thought she was a goner. Gosh. But instead of becoming lunch, this grandmother fought back, started beating the crocodile in the face.
Did she really?
With her free arm. She punched it over and over and over again until the crocodile let go and ran away.
Oh my gosh.
Locals
that's
rushed
what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're supposed to poke it in the eyes. Right? Or is that sharks?
I can't remember. I don't know if it's the same for sharks and crocodiles.
Now that David has mentioned that stuff, now we have to do this. Our show is going to get 10 times longer now. If you're attacked...
We don't have time for fact checks all over the place.
Attacked by a crocodile or an alligator, what should you do? The best thing to do is fight back.
Fight back. Okay.
Provide as much noise and resistance as possible. Poking it in the eyes may cause it to release its grip. Okay.
Wow.
That's great.
Okay. Poke it in the eyes.
Okay, so wait a second.
And it seems like it would be harder, too, for a crocodile because they have the longer snout, or whatever you call that, than the alligator does. Don't you dare fact check that.
That's true.
But they,
no, we have
but it seems like it would be harder to, reach over with your free hand and stick it in the eyeball. Dang, Granny.
Yeah, I know. Crocodiles have the longer pointer.
I know they do. What is it called?
Also, sharks. They call them. What do they just call it? Snout.
It is a snout.
Snout.
See?
Yeah, I don't know.
See, we didn't even need to fact check that. I already knew it.
Pretty good. Sharks also poke them in the eyes or beat them in the face or the gills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, just any basically.
Oh yeah, the gills. That's right.
Yeah, basically just beat the crap out of them if you can
Right.
to let go. Which is exactly, I mean, I think that would be your first reaction that's my reaction.
Right.
If like, if a human came up to bite me, same reaction. Sorry.
Fight or flight.
Yeah. Anyway, locals rushed her, say she got 15 stitches and she is going to be fine.
Dang.
But now locals are calling for the hunting of the crocodile that did that. So, and
I don't think he's coming back anytime soon.
I don't think so either. Anyway, but Grandma won the round one anyway with the prehistoric
God, he's probably
predator,
halfway to Australia by now. He's like, screw this,
no
man.
kidding. I'm out of here.
Going somewhere else.
Exactly. But props to Granny.
Oh, man. Speaking of water and things, a mermaid show at a Chinese aquarium took a rather dark turn when a giant fish decided to make the performer part of the act by biting her head.
What?
The 22-year-old Russian swimmer was kind of gracefully gliding through the tank, doing all the mermaid things, when the oversized fish clamped down on her head in front of all these children that were watching.
Oh, my God.
And they started screaming. The performer wrestled free. She lost her goggles in the process. She surfaced. She had some injuries on her head, neck, and eye.
Oh, my gosh.
Speaking of eye. But instead of sympathy...
Okay.
Her employer reportedly just shoved her right back in the water and told her to keep
No,
quiet.
they did. No way.
And that didn't work because the footage, people were recording this. That went viral. And then to add insult to injury, the employer gave her a grand total of less than $100 in compensation for her troubles.
Are you kidding me? Mm-mm. Her head was inside a giant fish.
Giant fish, yeah.
I'm going to need $1 million at least. Or whatever the currency equivalent of that would be. At least $1 million. And there are several billboards of lawyers that I see all the time around here anyway that I know would take that case. I think they can give me $1 million. Mm-hmm. That's unreal. No thanks.
Not at all. No, I don't think that was part of the job description.
But she was like, but I guess like no major injuries though. Like it was just there were minor
apparently
injuries.
Not.
There were
minor injuries. She was able to break free, and
that's so
all that,
scary.
So
it wasn't something with like it wasn't like a shark. It wasn't something with big teeth. It was just a big mouth, like a.
It was a big fish. Like
no,
they don't
I know
know
it's a
what
big
kind.
fish, but like. That's my question.
Is?
How do they not know what kind it is? It's an aquarium. It's supposed to be a controlled. That's my count of what I was getting at. It's supposed to be a controlled aquarium where these people are doing the show. You wouldn't put them in there with something that is notorious for or known for eating people, right?
I wouldn't think so. Wouldn't think so. I don't know.
I don't know. That's crazy. Some weird stuff going on in the world.
Oh, man.
Speaking of kind of some crazy shit.
What?
You want to go to
something your kids did?
Well.
Which one?
No, they didn't do. It didn't do anything crazy. Well, it's both. So it's both the teenagers right now.
Okay.
Are in this phase, and I want to know if this is going to pass sometime soon, or if this is like the new thing.
No.
They want their headphones in all the time. All the time. Mm-hmm. And so either I'm like a total old boomer now.
Yeah.
Don't answer that question.
But
it drives me crazy because no matter what you say to them, their first response is, what? Huh?
What?
And then so you sit and stare at them, but they don't start to take out they want you to repeat yourself again. They still have their headphones in. I'm like, did you pause whatever you're listening to? No. Why don't you take out? You're not going to hear me again the second time.
Right.
Until you take one of those things out or you stop it. And they look at me like I'm the moron.
Right.
For not, they won't take it out. So I basically, I'm not going, I'll tell them, I was like, I'm not going to repeat the question. I'm not going to repeat whatever I said.
Yep.
Until one or more of those headphones comes out.
Yeah. Lord,
of the ear.
You were sounding like your dad.
I know. But see, did they have those little bitty headphones like they did back then? I don't remember them.
I don't.
They weren't as
think so.
convenient as the new
Yeah.
headphones are today, anyway.
Right.
So I wasn't. Like when I was growing, I had those headphones, and maybe it was just because we couldn't afford a lot, but they were the little headphones that had the little foam. They were smaller than the ones I'm wearing now.
With the Walkman or whatever.
Yes. And so, to be honest, those were so like not really well designed that
Right, not soundproof.
You could hear anything. You could hear everything that was going on.
Conversation. You could hear.
In fact, you could barely hear whatever it was you were listening to through the headphones. You could hear everything else better
right,
still.
because it didn't go over your ears. It just kind of
sat on top of
laid
it.
On top of them, yeah.
It was the equivalent of just like shoving this up to the side of your ear and it's like calling it a headphone. It had no form or fit whatsoever.
Right. Mm-mm.
And so that was what I used to listen to stuff on. So it wasn't a big deal. But these things now they're like custom made for your ear hole.
Yeah.
And it's
it's kind of like these things. It's like the little in-ear monitors.
You kind of got them too, but at least you're listening to me through
stick
them.
them in there, right?
Yeah. Imagine if we were having this whole podcast and you had those things in, but you were listening to something else. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what? I didn't hear what you're saying. Take one of your monitors out. Anyway, so that's what's going on with my kids right now.
I mean,
and it's just
Ava's
been kind of driving me crazy a little bit.
Ava did that recently. It was right after Christmas. She got a brand new pair of headphones, and she just wore them like 24/7 for probably a week straight. And I had the same problem. I'm like, hello, hello, are you listening? Like,
well,
she's like, huh, what?
And it's just, I just find it, I do find, and I've discussed it with them, and I think that they're getting better with it. I'm trying to work with them on this.
Yeah.
But I find it rude, like if you are at a, if you're ordering something at a restaurant, even if, and they're like, no, nothing's playing. They'll say, no, we can hear fine. Like, so that's what
take it off.
Then take it off. Like it looks to me, it looks and I know.
Just going for aesthetics here?
I am sounding so old and I know
But
that.
I agree.
I know that. But it seems so rude to me.
Yeah.
And disrespectful to start having a conversation with somebody while both of your ears have these earbuds in them at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm.
It's very distracting to me. I know I'm so old. Should I get over it? What are your thoughts? Leave us some thoughts.
I think we just bear down and ride it out, maybe, because I agree. Like I just think that.
I think it seems like their friends do it too. So I think it's the
right.
I think it's the thing. I don't think it's just
the thing.
them.
Yeah. No, it's not. Definitely not.
Do. I even asked them, I was like, do you wear those at school? Like, yeah, they let me wear them at school. I was like, what? How are you learning anything? How are you learning anything? He's like, well, I don't listen to anything. Well, then why do you have it in?
Then what?
I don't.
Oh my gosh.
I don't understand it. I don't understand any of it. I don't understand anything anymore. It is weird. I'm almost 40 and now I don't understand. Is that the age where you just don't understand anything anymore?
Probably.
Is that the turning point where...
It's like the age where you don't understand anything, but then you also don't care. You stop giving a shit. So it's like, it's a toss up there.
Well, right. I still care right now. I just don't understand. That's when you stop understanding younger things.
Right.
But what I do understand, and I think this is very, very interesting, is we were talking about daylight savings time at the beginning of the show. There's something that no children, but teenagers or anybody like that are talking about. They don't care.
They don't care.
They care about daylight savings time. They care
I don't think so.
They don't care what time the sun shines or not. They sleep right through it all. We talked about at the beginning of the show that they're trying again to pass an end to daylight savings time. I'm sorry, I didn't ask you about what your kids did this week.
Crazy
your kids
shit.
did
Oh
first.
my God.
Before I get back onto that, I was just thinking about because Bobby and Avery sleep through everything, and so that's why it kind of brought me right to the daylight savings time thing again.
So
what did your kids do?
This one's Jace again. I guess I will admit that I committed possibly the cardinal sin of parenting.
What's that?
In that
leaving your kids to go to a bar and get drunk?
No. Okay, one of the cardinal sins of parenting, maybe, in that I scheduled something around his nap time, like during his nap time. Close to his nap time, not during it, close to his nap time.
And so naturally you left him here unsupervised at your house during his nap while you went and did your
for him.
massage.
I had to go
you scheduled something
get
for
him a haircut. And the first time
you don't do
we did
that
it
during
on
nap time.
I know. We did it on Halloween. The first time when he got his first haircut last year, it was on Halloween, and I went and I had to sit in the chair with him, and they put a cape on me, they put a cape on him. And
okay. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
I've got
so like as I'm holding him and to keep the hair from getting all over us and everything. And he just sat there like he was so good. He was so chill. And she's just, running the little cutters all over his head and everything. So cute. The other day I went and it was like early afternoon. It was right around lunchtime, and got in there and he was okay. And he started kind of playing with the toys they have there in the little waiting area. And then she's like, all right, Chase, you ready? And I go to pick him up. And you would have thought I just pinched the crap out of him. He just started screaming. And I'm like,
oh, no.
Okay, what do I do? Do I abort? What am I doing? What am I doing? And so I go over there and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm trying to calm him down. Got his pacifier.
Yeah.
He throws his pacifier down on the floor. So now it's got all the hair and everything all over it.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Like even one of the other hairdressers comes over because it's a barbershop. So it's all the guys that they do there. And one of the other ladies comes over and she brings like up the basket of toys. And she's like, here, buddy, you want to alert the dinosaur? Trying to distract him. And he was having none of that.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to hold him down with his head on my chest as she's like, using the cutters and everything on him. And she goes,
wait, she started cutting his hair while he was going.
Yes, as I'm holding him in place so he's not moving all around.
He's never going to get a haircut again.
She did
He's gonna be mortified.
She did a great job under these circumstances and stuff, because he finally did chill out a little bit to let her finish and everything, because I didn't want him to be mortified and not want to go back to the barbershop or anything.
He's mortified. He's never going back. You're good. This is happening every time now.
I'm like, should I have just aborted the mission altogether at the beginning?
Yes.
I probably should
have. And also, you should have aborted it before you even made the appointment. That was my thought. Why are you spending money to have a professional cut the hair of a 2-year-old?
What? Why? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You saw what I did to Jared's hair during COVID. I'm not doing that.
He's 2. He doesn't have a business meeting that he has to go to. No one's gonna say, "Oh, hey man, hey, rough haircut there, bro, loser." No one's gonna do it. He's 2. A haircut does not matter until you're 10. And I would say even that's being generous. Until you're a teenager, it doesn't really even matter.
Do y'all cut Luna's hair?
Of course.
Really?
Of course. We haven't spent a dime on a haircut in this house in
I know you
10
haven't.
years. Me either.
Luna,
Avery, Bob, we all cut our own hair. And Brittany cuts Luna's hair. I'll help a little bit. But yeah, of course, 100%.
Really?
Because it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just going to bring him over to Brittany next time.
That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying you don't need to spend money on a haircut for a little child.
I disagree.
Take some scissors, just cut the hair out of their eyeballs. So that way they don't.
That's more traumatic than bringing them in a fussy mood to the barber.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
Once they look in the mirror and see what I did.
Look, spend 20 minutes beforehand watching a YouTube video.
That's what I did with Jared, and it still turned out horrible.
His hair
during
was
the
fine.
pandemic.
His hair was fine.
It was bad.
It doesn't. It
was bad.
What did it look like?
It was like, I tried to do like the not layered, but kind of like shorter, like what do they call it? The fade.
Yeah.
So you do it like shorter on the bottoms, and then it fades into thicker on the top.
Yeah.
And it was like I butchered a poodle.
Yeah, no, it looked so. I kind of remember this, and so it didn't look exactly like that. It looked more, amateur-y, but
Looked more like a mushroom.
Looked more like a mushroom, exactly.
Yeah,
That's exactly kind of like the bowl cut, the old bowl cut things. Okay, here's what I'm getting at. You know who else has that hairstyle? Every toddler in the world. Every toddler in the world has that hairstyle. Even just naturally, that's how their toddler hair grows out.
Yeah.
So if you give that haircut to Jace, everybody's going to say, oh, how adorable. He's got the standard toddler cut. It's fine. Spend no more money for the next 5 years on that kid's hair.
Yeah, well, the hairdresser got a really good tip out of that because I was amazed.
Okay, you know what? Actually, next time, do go ahead and bring Jace over here. If you're not only did you pay, you then tipped for a toddler haircut.
Of course I did, for her troubles.
Oh, my gosh. Bring over here. I'll do it for, what'd you pay?
$5.
That's not true. That's not true. Because I wouldn't cut a kid's hair for $5. I know that. I would actually. They would be the most expensive if I had to do it for someone else's kid.
I would think so too.
So if I were in business doing it, and I don't know, I truly have no idea what haircuts cost. I have no clue. I am so out of touch with that. But if someone said, "Would you cut my 2-year-old's hair?" and I were a professional, I would say yes.
Yeah.
I think $60.
$60.
What? Is that a lot or is that a little?
It was $25.
$25?
Yeah. $25.
No way. Not worth it.
Plus tip.
I hope you gave a $45 tip.
I gave
$40 tip, whatever it was.
I gave 40.
You did?
Altogether.
Oh, altogether. And how long was this whole thing, though?
80% tip. It didn't last that long. It was probably less than 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Once
okay.
he had his little meltdown and then chilled out when she brought
that's not terrible. Yeah.
Dinosaurs over.
That's not terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. But, yeah, money-saving tips. Next time, just do it at home.
Yeah. Or just don't bring them during nap time.
Yeah.
Or close to nap time. It wasn't even supposed to be nap time. It was just close to it.
Yeah, that is so we have done that a few times before. It is and where we've had to take Luna somewhere and same with
regret.
the children. Yeah, exactly. Kind of around her nap time, and it is not good. Or if she misses, like for some reason she doesn't nap. And you have any kind of evening plans, just cancel them. Just cancel them right then.
Forget about it.
Because don't think that you're going to be able to make it at that point because it's just the worst thing ever. We've done that a couple times where it's like, oh my God, she missed her nap today. We have dinner plans with such and such, where we're all going to go out. We're supposed to go out. It's like, do we still do this? And we're like, yeah, we can do it. It'll be fine.
No, you can't.
Worst experience, it's like constant fight, throwing things.
0 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's terrible. So you got to do that. Let's see. We're already at 37 minutes. Do you have anything for what makes you weird? Do you have anything you want to bring up? Just what makes you weird?
Well, you were going to talk about the daylight savings time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So they're trying to pass or they're looking again into ending daylight savings time. They tried to pass a bill in 2022.
Circling back around.
Let's circle back around to that for a couple of years. But so it stalled last time they tried this because they could not agree on whether they should keep standard time or permanent daylight savings time. So standard time is what it was before they brought daylight savings time into the world. Standard time is what we all just stayed on, and that was when it got darker in the evening. Right. Darker earlier. So correct. So like 4 o'clock or whatever, it's dark. Daylight savings time is actually when it's...
Save more daylight.
You save more daylight. So you actually get extra time. Yeah. In the evening. So you would want it to be, so if you were to end it, you wouldn't end daylight savings time. You would extend.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't end it. I would keep it.
You would make it permanent year round.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I hate, that's my least favorite thing is when it gets dark at 4:30 and it's like pitch black by the time
I mean,
we get
part of
home.
that's just part of that you can't help. That's natural for the time of year. It's going to get darker earlier, regardless of what.
Yeah,
we do with
but
our
at least
clocks.
if you have an extra hour, you'd still have an extra hour of daylight, though.
Yeah, I mean, ish. Yeah. So that's what you would do. Okay. Mm-hmm. If I'm trying to think, like, I've heard somewhere that if that happens, that there are some parts of the country that it wouldn't get light until like 10 a.m., almost 10 a.m.
Right.
Or like 9 a.m., something like that. And that's why they couldn't decide on that, is that there were a lot of people that. But I would think that I would prefer the permanent daylight savings time too. I think I'm with you on this.
Yeah. I mean, or you could just cut it down the middle and do the eastern half of the United States that stays with it, and then just let the West Coast do what they want.
What if you split? Wait. What if you split it down the middle and you did 30 minutes? Could you do that? Could everybody set everything?
Just like an extra, that's too much trouble.
that
No,
too much?
not a half an hour. Give me a whole hour.
Split the difference.
Not a half.
Split
No.
the difference.
No, we're not splitting it.
And we all have to.
No, I would
adjust our
not vote for you
clocks
if you were a senator.
by
No.
30 minutes.
No.
One direction. But then it
No.
stays that way forever.
No, I don't want it to stay that way forever. No.
See, but that's what we have to do in this country a little bit more. It's more compromise.
No.
Look,
Screw that. I do not want
you
half
want
an hour.
that. Let's
No.
go. Let's meet in the middle,
We're
y'all.
not halvesies.
Let's
No.
meet in the middle.
No, you're a terrible, terrible congressman. No, we're not doing it.
Look what I'm doing.
No, I don't.
I'm doing.
You can do this all you want. I'm still not compromising.
We're meeting in the middle. Come on. That's a great solution. It's a great solution.
No. Just do it on the East Coast. Forget about the West Coast.
Tag everybody. Tag all the politicians you know in this segment right here. This is what I want to happen. It's the only way I know how to get to it. I think you can write your congressmen and your representatives and stuff, but this is the easier route. Just tag them all on Instagram and Facebook and wherever else.
Here.
Tag them here.
On a
and tell them Streeter has the solution. I want a bill drawn up within the next week.
He's
30 minutes. 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Meet in the middle. We all adjust our clocks to 30 minutes.
Oh.
Sure, that would screw up our time to the rest of the world.
A lot.
Too, a lot, right?
Yeah.
Because then the rest of the world would be where it's 7:30 here, it would be 8. It would be the top of an hour everywhere else at the rest
so,
of the world.
Any award shows or football games or something,
anything.
you have to totally.
Yeah. So that would be. But that's only for things outside of the country.
Yeah.
In the country, we'd all be a half hour. We'd change that same half hour to be.
No,
wait a second. I don't even know. I'm confused at how this would work. No,
you're confusing yourself now.
You're right. No,
This is so stupid. You've now confused yourself.
No, we'd all still be on the same. It would still be 8 o'clock or whatever, but it would just look different. It would be 30. Our 8 o'clock would now be 30 minutes earlier. It would be our old 7:30.
I'm tired.
So what 7:30 used to be would be now our 8 o'clock. So it's still when we're looking at the rest of the world, we'd still be on the same, time. It would still be 8 o'clock.
You're making my eye twitch.
You should tattoo that thing. It would stop. It would stop the twitch. Maybe that's what you need. Let's permanently tattoo that thing in place.
Oh, God.
All right. Should we go now? Should we end everything? I think we should just go. We're already at
let's
45.
end it 30 minutes early.
30
Okay. Oh, my God.
This is our new end of show time. 43, 41 on the clock is our new 50 minutes. Now, I don't know. I think we have the solution. I really do. I think my solution is great. Split the difference. We adjust our clocks, 30 minutes, whereas our old 7:30 is now our new 8 o'clock or our new 6 o'clock or whatever it is. 7 o'clock. I don't know. Our new, look, let's
just stop talking.
Just tag your politicians in this.
Stop talking.
I think they'll understand what I mean.
I would be hella impressed if they would understand any of that.
Because I'm so confusing or because they're not?
You're confused. You made yourself confused.
No, I unconfused myself. Okay. You're the only one that's still confused. I was confused. I thought about it, unconfused myself, and now it makes perfect sense. Let's split the difference. Politicians couldn't agree on whether or not to end daylight savings time and make it permanently an hour, things get darker an hour earlier, or to end things, or to extend daylight saving time permanently, and then everything is always an hour later. And I say, split the difference, then we can all agree. We'll split the difference. We'll go 30 minutes. Of 30 minutes, we set our clocks. So what was 7:30 is now 7 o'clock, or whatever it is. Instead of what was 8 o'clock is now 7 o'clock. What was 8 o'clock?
I'm going to go ahead and set my clock for next week so that I'm 30 minutes ahead and I miss recording.
I don't think that's very nice of you. We have to get everybody to agree on the same page. We can't be like that city. It's like a city in Indiana or something. It's like, we're not going to do daylight savings time. And then, and there's like one other state. Isn't there like another state that does that too? And so
probably
their whole, everything's all messed up because they're totally different time than everybody else now. Yeah, we can't do that. You can't do that. We have to at least be on the same page to coordinate our show.
All right, be here next week. 12 o'clock, 11:30, Sean time.
That's right. See, that's easy. You're getting used to it. Have a great rest of your week. We will see you back here next week. Make sure to like us, follow us, tag your favorite politicians at Flippin' Street or Make It Weird on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. We got to go. Bye.